Welcome to another episode of Hoop Fans from the Hoop Fans. I'm K Rose here with my boy Matt.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
What's going on, bro? How you doing?
Man, doing pretty good, bro. Great week of ball. Got a lot to talk about, so I'm excited to dive into it.
Let's do it, bro. Let's talk about it. So, a huge storyline is kind of unfolding as we speak, kind of, is John Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. John Morant, they recently played the Lakers. They lost the Lakers either yesterday or 2 days ago from this recording. And in the aftermath of the loss, there seems to be some tensions between John Morant and the coaching staff. Reportedly, Ja had a public disagreement with his new head coach. I don't even know how to pronounce his boy name, Coach Lasalo. So he had a public disagreement with his coach after the Lakers loss on November 1st, and this has led to Ja Morant being suspended for one game. The game is being played currently right now against the Toronto Raptors. Now, bro, for some extra background, in the post-game interview, the reporters were asking Ja, like, hey, basically a bunch of questions, and he kept saying this, go ask the coaching staff. And he ended his post-game presser by kind of saying that they were like, well, yeah, what else can be done to kind of make this situation better? I'm paraphrasing. And he said, basically by not playing me,
hmm
if you go by what the coaching staff says. So, bro, did you see this? And what's your immediate reactions to what seems to be some tensions in Memphis?
Yeah, to be honest with you, man, the whole situation with John Morant seems to make me scratch my head. I'm not quite sure what's going on there. I don't know what kind of well, to me, it looks like John Morant is disinterested. Like I watched that game Friday night when they played the Lakers.
Okay, you watched it.
I watched it, bro.
What did you see? What you see?
I mean, he only had 8.7 assists, shot really poorly from the field. His energy was not there. He was coming off screens, very low speeds. Like we're used to seeing John Morant, go full tilt, amazing athlete, putting it all out there. And that's a big game. That was a Peacock game, I believe. Obviously going against a West Coast rival in the Los Angeles Lakers. Luka comes back. You think you're getting a big game from Ja. That's what us Hoop fans would think, right? Just naturally. I didn't see that from him, man. And the stats show it themselves. He did not perform on the defensive end. I saw him guarding Marcus Smart in that corner, and he was standing up. He wasn't in an athletic stance. He wasn't. He just didn't seem interested at all on either end. And then, once that interview or the post game presser came out, and he was sarcastic, kind of giving that answer, go ask the coaching staff. It leaves us, with nothing really. So I think we're kind of just figuring it out as everything goes. I feel bad for him. I don't know why the coaching staff is kind of
Coming at him, right?
coming at him. He didn't play a lot either. He didn't play like I felt like he wasn't out there a lot.
So here's the thing, bro. So a lot of great points, right? And I kind of echo that sentiment, and I honestly believe, bro, we're in the minority because the blowback that Ja is currently receiving, from what I see, at least on social media, from Hoop fans, fans of the Memphis Grizzlies, they're tired of it, right? And they're aiming a lot of their frustration at Ja Morant. Obviously, they just lost to the Lakers. Um, but you're right. To piggyback off your point in terms of him not playing a lot, he's
Yeah.
not. I think I saw a stat. He's only averaging about, if I'm not mistaken, I could be off. He's only averaging like 26 minutes a night or something very low for someone of his stature. Normally, superstars they're going to play at least 30 minutes, high 30, mid 30s to start the season, the regular season, like 35 minutes a night, right?
Mhm.
So he's not playing a lot. And I'm wondering where the frustration is coming from, right? The Grizzlies are dealing with some injuries. They don't have their center Zach Edey, and I believe there's a few other players that they're currently missing.
Mhm.
They have a 3-3 record as of this recording, so it's just interesting to see him and the coaching staff having some type of back and forth, right?
Right.
Um, it's weird, man. It's weird.
Very weird.
As far as my take on everything, I I feel like this is another episode in, for whatever reason, there seems to be this thing against John Morant recently, right? So he's had this ordeal. A few days ago, Kendrick Perkins had an interview, right? I don't know if you saw that, where he had an interview speaking on, basically at ESPN. He pretty much vouched for ESPN to go cover Ja and go report on Ja down in Memphis.
Mhm.
And when I believe when Ja had everything going on with the gun situation, um, the gun suspensions, um, it kind of turned ESPN off and kind of, when you put your name out there, as Kendrick Perkins was saying, you put your name out there for someone and they kind of hurt your reputation because you put your name on the line, right? You vouch for him. So
Mhm.
that started a few days ago. You have this ordeal here where he suspended one game because of conduct detrimental to the team after the Lakers loss. It's a weird set of circumstances.
It is.
And it would lead you to believe as a hoop fan, if this doesn't turn around, because I believe Ja has the ability to turn this around and kind of play his way back into the favor of the fans and the organization. If it doesn't turn around, though, do you believe this is his last season in Memphis?
Yeah, yeah, I do. I do because you can kind of sense a shift in where that team's direction is going. Um, when Ja and the Grizz were kind of like up on the up and coming in the West. What was that 2022, 21,
Yes.
22? Taylor Jenkins was the head coach, and he was a good coach, man. I thought that he rallied for those guys. He was really a player's coach, and he was starting a culture, kind of
Hard nosed,
hard
gritty.
nosed,
Memphis has
reminiscent.
that type of vibe.
Yeah, kind of reminiscent of those Zach Randolph, Mike Conley, Tony Allen teams back in the mid or like early to mid 2010s. Um, and then all of a sudden, boom, overnight after Ja, got his gun situation underway, and then Taylor Jenkins, I think, probably a year after that. This is Thomas Guy's first year, right, as head coach.
Yes, because Taylor
Yeah,
Jenkins was fired last season.
yeah.
And I think
So,
that plays a huge, huge
yeah.
part in this ordeal happening now.
Yeah, I think this coach comes from a mindset like a European, almost militant,
Mhm.
possibly where, he might not be going for any of that. Um, and to your point, when Kendrick Perkins said that when he was putting his name on the line for that was a weird thing to say on his part. I didn't like that. Kendrick Perkins' name carries a lot of weight. It's a toss up, but I don't really think that plays into this at all. I don't think that they're like, oh my God, Kendrick Perkins is like talking some real stuff about John Morant's situation. Like, I just think he
I
was
didn't
blowing,
like that either.
I think he was blowing it way out of proportion. Um, I think we're not going to get on Kendrick Perkins, but I don't think that plays into this. I think this is more of a situation of a coach's mentality for the team and the direction that he wants to lead them into. And I don't think John Morant's part of that plan. That's just my opinion. So
I
I
think
think this could be the last year for him for sure.
if it doesn't turn around, I agree, bro. If this situation doesn't gets fixed, if it doesn't get fixed, and better vibes doesn't flow into the organization to start this season from this point on,
Mhm.
I definitely believe that Ja could be on the trade. He could be on the market, for a trade. This is,
Yeah,
and I wanna before I close this out on this topic, bro. Like you made me think of this. This is what I don't like about the situation, right? I feel like fans and the media, we take smaller occurrences, right? Small instances, small events, and everyone's very quick to blow it up out of proportion, right? So here we are, we're talking about if this doesn't turn around, this could be his last season in Memphis, right? So that's a big deal.
yeah,
What I don't like in this scenario is that, okay, Ja has had a dispute with the coaching staff. And because of the blowback that fans are giving him for this dispute with the coaching staff, all of a sudden, everyone that has claimed that John Morant is not a top 40 player in the NBA is correct.
right, right.
And I saw Kevin O'Connor, he's a prominent reporter, a reporter on basketball in the NBA, saying basically in a tweet, I told y'all, this is why I didn't rank him in my top 40. And it's like, well, whoa, 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 whoa,
There's no
whoa,
debate
whoa,
about his talent. I mean,
let's it's not a debate on his talent. Even with
yeah,
the gun situations a few years ago where he was suspended for the gun conduct and all of those different types of things. His talent and his game is his talent is his talent, his game is his game. You know what I mean? He's still a high level superstar. There is not 40 better basketball players in the NBA than John Morant. Like
yeah,
that's ridiculous. And that's where I think we tend to go too far. Yes, we can infer that this could be his last season because of the bad vibes. He's not, there are not 40 better basketball players than John
yeah.
Morant in the league.
I agree,
Um,
bro.
and even on this down season or this kind of bad vibe season, he's still averaging like 26 and 20,
Yeah.
20 and 6, 20 and 7. You know what I mean? So it's
You
still
know what
very
this,
solid.
you know what this low key reminds me of?
What?
When Iverson with his last middle of the season and was that 06, 07, got
Okay.
shipped off to the Denver Nuggets when I think that was when Mo Cheeks first came in to the
Oh,
Sixers. I
whoa.
think if I maybe it was like it just reminds me that shift in coaching staff with the head coach. That's what it reminds me of.
Bro, that's
With the
very
superstar
similar.
player. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. I just thought about that like when we were talking about it. It just kind of just popped in my mind like, damn, are they kind of AIing him when they did in Philly when he got shipped off for Andre Miller?
It's similar, but it's a little different in that AI was a little bit further along his career, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yes.
in
Different
that
circumstances.
it's different circumstances, and that was kind of the beginning of the end for AI. Ja
Yeah,
has a lot of career left in his
for sure. Yeah,
career, so he has a lot of time and games left in that. But it's similar in that sense, and they're similar players, similar type
yeah,
of mentalities. I like that comparison, bro. Like
yeah,
how the Sixers and AI kind of didn't function well when it got to the end, and we
yeah.
very well could be seeing the end for John Morant. We'll see. I mean, one game suspension, maybe that's all you need to kind of turn it around. We'll see. Last thing I'll say on that topic, bro, the Memphis Grizzlies aren't doing anything this season. Let's just
Absolutely
keep
not.
it real.
Yeah.
They're not talented enough. Um, they're just not talented enough. And I'm not the biggest fan of Triple J. My
Jaren Jackson.
Jaren Jackson tripping. Jaren Jackson, as you can see, I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not the biggest fan of him as a superstar or star anyway. So I don't think the Memphis Grizzlies are going anywhere anyway.
Yeah.
Now, let's move on, bro. It's a lot of other basketball. That was just a big headline. Um, what team so far is the biggest surprise uh success wise for you in this early season? What's the biggest surprise that you're seeing?
There's a couple, bro. There's a couple.
Give me the biggest one for you.
I mean, it might not come as a shock to anybody. I know obviously covered this team a lot. San Antonio Spurs, man, they're the biggest surprise to me. And obviously, we don't have to speak on Wemby anymore. But
Yeah, we went beat out, bro.
yeah, we weren't beat out. Let's just talk about the whole organization and kind of the history real quick. They're 5-0 or 6-0 right now. Best start, to the season historically ever, which is crazy to think because they've had some, the monster historical squads they've had. Um, I don't know if it's going to be sustainable. I don't know how long they can keep this winning streak on, obviously, but again, we bro had said that they were going to be a very successful team this year. Had no idea they were going to start 5-0 against really must-see TV squads. So they right now currently are the biggest surprise to me. I didn't expect. I'm gonna go with another guy. I didn't expect Castle to be playing this well. He's playing some
And
really
why is that, bro? Give me reasons why you didn't expect it. Talk to me.
I don't know.
Anything specifically?
Not anything specifically. He's doing things he did last year. I think he's just doing them at a more mature rate, as obviously a second year player is going to be doing. I just maybe didn't think that he was going to be as physically dominant against, other smaller guards. I mean, it makes sense, right? He's a bigger body as a guard, but like, I just didn't think he was going to take over and really command a lot of physical dominance
I'm
this
not
you
mad
know
at that. I'm not mad at that because I think we spoke on that last episode where I was even surprised watching the Spurs play how aggressive and confident he was. Now
yeah,
again, he won Rookie of the Year last season. It
he did.
wasn't a great race. It wasn't an amazing rookie class last season, to be
Yeah,
honest. But at the same time, I was surprised myself at like he's looking like the second best player in the Spurs, and I said that last
yeah.
episode. So
I think
he's
it's
a freak
more.
athlete too. He is a freak athlete
Yeah, I think I didn't realize he was going to assert his dominance this quickly.
into the season.
He's got a very strong lower center of gravity, bro, and even his shoulders. Like he's bumping guys off going right up, just doing
Yeah,
freaking
yeah,
pull-ups
yeah.
on the rim. Um, scoring at a high clip. I didn't think he was going to be scoring and actually like his game is well rounded. He's averaging like 19, 6, and 6. So, he's developing, man, into a well-rounded player. And I thought it was going to be this quick. I thought it would take maybe 3, 4 years to see him be on that cusp of a possible all-star.
Listen, man, I said it last
So
episode. He's Russell Westbrook, bro.
he is.
Even to your point of well-rounded, he's looking like that in the
He is.
equation.
He is.
So I'm not mad at that. I mean, I think like you said, we all noticed that this should be a year of improvement for the Spurs, so they should have some type of success. I don't think anyone would see the best start in franchise history. So I'm with you on that, bro.
Mhm.
For me, I have two teams. I have one team that's me personally that I'm seeing. Um, and we have another one as well that I want to bring up and we can speak on.
Mhm.
Bro, the third seed in the West as of this recording, the Portland Trailblazers, bro.
Ooh, good one.
I have zero idea how they're having so much success early on. Well, let me say this. I have an idea because I've watched it, but I would not have foresaw this to begin the season. Um,
Okay.
especially when you consider that Scoot Henderson has not played a game this season.
Yeah.
I believe he's out for either probably like a month or so more, maybe even a few more weeks beyond that. He's dealing with injuries. I believe it's a hamstring, if I'm not mistaken. Um, so I didn't think that the Portland Trailblazers would get off to a 4-2 start.
Yeah.
And what I've noticed about them is this: when you look in their starting lineup, right? They're starting Drew Holiday, right? Who, for all intents and purposes, this should be the back end of his career. You know what I mean? Boston traded him away. So this should be the time where it's like, okay, Drew's getting older. Like we like, he's getting older. So they're starting Drew Holiday at point guard. Kamara, who they just paid a lot of money to, a defensive type of specialist, lefty shooting guard.
Right.
Donovan Klingen, a huge big body center, 7 footer at center. Um, then they have I was watching some of the games, but I wasn't quite sure if Jeremy Grant was coming off the bench or he was starting. But I know they have their main guy from what it seems to be Denny Agvia, right? Like a nice Swiss Army knife, aggressive, athletic type of forward, European type of guy, right? So I say all this to say, and excuse me, uh, a young talent that isn't really looked at very a lot, Shaden Sharp.
Yeah.
So that's their starting lineup or their main pieces. They're 4-2 to start the season. And one thing that has come to my mind when watching them play, bro, they're the when we used to play AAU back in the day, right? You go to these tournaments and you look, you're warming up and you look on the other end of the court and you're like, oh, okay. You're looking
Hmm.
at the other team, it's like, oh, they don't look, but just off the eye test, they don't look like they have a lot of talent, right? Especially offensively.
Hmm.
But then you notice like they may not have a lot of talent or game, but they definitely have a weight program wherever they working out at. They have a strength program. And when I look at the Portland Trailblazers, bro, I think that's a big key against these other teams to start the season.
Hmm.
They're physically imposing and they're big
They are.
and they can guard.
They can guard, dude. They're like a just like you said earlier, a well-rounded team. They have some sleeper depth, off that bench, but their starting five is pretty big. I mean, Drew Holiday is 6'4", 6'5"
We
ish
know what
point
he is.
guard.
We know what he is physically.
Yeah. Shaden Sharp, freak athlete. Denny Avia, man, might be the most um I'm not gonna say the most, but one of the most underrated um just swingmen. He's averaging 23, 6, and 4 right now. Like
Insane.
leading that team in scoring. Just well-rounded stat line. He's shooting, an incredible clip right now. He against the Nuggets though, he shot 50% from three. Shot like 55, 60% from the field, had 23, 4 and 4. I think Donovan Clingan is really playing well that people aren't really giving him a lot of credit, especially rebounding. He's not going to be scoring a whole lot, but he's a big presence down there. He makes he's imposing. So and then Kamara, dude, a hell of a defender. Almost like a Tayshaun Prince type of dude. Like you said,
Yes.
a kind of a Swiss Army off the defensive end where he can cover pretty much like 1 through 5. Um, they do, bro. They have a great squad. They have a really good squad, and they're surprising a lot of people.
They are. You know what's crazy? They won't be for very much longer, which is
Yeah.
going to be interesting to see if this type of success continues. I wouldn't call them a great squad. I call them a solid
Yeah.
squad that is dangerous and giving teams hard times to start the season, right? Where it's like, oh, we just getting our legs up under us, and we got this hard nosed, physical, defensive team that we got to play against tonight, who's having some success offensively that many of us may not have foresaw, like you
Mhm.
stated. Then Denny Avia having a great start to the season.
Yeah.
They're fifth in defensive rating right now. So it's like the eye test is conveying into the state into the stats as well. It's like, bro, This team is like a mother to play. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Um, and I'm just last thing I'll speak on them is just like they were my surprise team. Just seeing Drew Holiday playing as well as he's playing, it's like, man, like he's
Hmm.
playing very well. And this may have been thought to have been a dead end type of organization for him to go to at this stage in his career, where you go to
Hmm.
like CJ McCollum or Chris Middleton in Washington.
Yeah.
But no, he's making the most of it and they're competing. But so that's my pick personally. But I think the biggest surprise has to be for the universal hoop fan to start the season. The Chicago Bulls.
How? Like
How? How, bro? Do you have any idea how they're playing so
Josh
well?
Giddey is playing like a man possessed. Like Josh Giddey is playing like an all-star right now, which, you know, when he came in and he had his time in OKC, I never thought Josh Giddey was capable of putting these numbers up nightly. Kind of being that star point guard. Like I always thought he was really good, right? But I never thought he was going to be leading his team to 6-0. And obviously they got Vucevic, right? They got Ayo Dosunmu. Uh, is Kobe back? What's his name from North
I don't
Carolina?
believe Kobe White is even playing right
Kobe
now.
White. He's not even playing right now. So like,
Buzelis.
uh,
Buzelis is the one that's the main one.
oh
Yes, we have to talk about Buzelis. It's so tough because it's like, bro, this is not a roster that's very commonly like you
yes,
wouldn't. The average hoop fan probably doesn't know exactly who was on the Chicago Bulls. You get what I'm
right.
saying?
I
Like the
forgot about.
casual
Forgot they call him Lil Boozy Vert. That's what they call him. That's what the internet's calling him, Little Boozy Vert.
Lil Boozy
Boy,
Vert
jumping
is
out of the gym, man.
no, yo, bro, he's nice. Let me
He's
let me be clear.
he's not little though. That's the crazy.
No, he's not little, bro. He's 6'8", 230. And he, like you said, he's bouncy and he got game. Like it
He's
ain't
got some, yeah,
like
he's
he's
got
got
some
game. He's got
wiggle.
some type of flair. Like and they be throwing them lobs to him. He can shoot the
Yes.
ball. He can handle. I want to piggyback off your Josh Giddey point. You know what's crazy, bro? I'm gonna be real with you. I saw the vision ever
Did
since
you?
I've seen Josh Giddey come into the league. Like when you watch Josh Giddey play, he has I think the biggest thing that you're gonna see when you watch Josh Giddey play, he has an amazing feel for the game.
He
Right.
does.
Like it's just natural, right? He seems to like he glides on the floor, he handles the ball, he's a big point guard, big guard, like 6'6", can't really shoot
Can't
per
really
se.
shoot.
Can't really shoot, but what he does well is that he doesn't let that weakness, like he plays to his strength, right?
Hmm.
So he's going to get to different parts of the floor. He has the size to shoot those floaters. He can shoot over the top. If he's open, he'll shoot the occasional open tray rock. But for the most part, he doesn't, he doesn't take bad shots.
Right.
He
Right.
can really, really pass the ball. He has a great IQ. He has just great feel for the game, and he competes. I think
Yeah.
outside of the off the court instances with him, he obviously I believe he got a bad rap a little bit because he wasn't as useful for the Oklahoma City Thunder,
Hmm.
right? Because they needed a shooter at that shooting guard position with Shea handling the ball so much, they didn't need another playmaker, ball handler in the vein that Josh Giddey is. But
Yeah.
on a team now that needs him to be the point guard and a primary playmaker, he's excelling.
Yeah.
I don't expect now. All that being said, we got the positive out the way. All that being said, this obviously they won't go undefeated for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
Hmm.
And I don't think they're gonna have like this otherworldly season either. I think they may be a playoff team. I still
Maybe.
think it's very
Right.
early. I
Yeah.
think there's injuries to major teams in the East, but I don't see this being an otherworldly season for the Chicago Bulls. I just
Yeah.
think they have a hot start.
I agree. I agree. I just want to point out a stat line on Friday night when they beat big win against the Knicks, in that East Group C first round play of the NBA Cup. Josh Giddey went off for 32 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists. But
Oof.
Hoop fans, here's the kicker, right? He shot 4 of 8 from three-point land. He went 50% from three. 8 attempts is not a fluke. That's you're getting them up. Like
That's a lot of attempts, bro.
that's a lot and that's so if he starts hitting that three ball at a consistent, obviously he's not gonna be 50%, but like if he's shooting maybe, if he's getting
High
two out of
30s.
four, high 30s, right? Like, bro, he might be able to, change the narrative with him and maybe sustain this, for the latter half of his Bulls tenure.
Oh,
So
listen, with these particular stats, he's an all-star. If he can continue this
yeah,
type of
oh
production,
yeah,
he's an all-star this season in the Eastern Conference. That's a great point, bro. 45% from three. Shout out to Josh Giddey. And I've seen it.
sure.
I've always kind of liked his game and his feel for the game. Um,
Hmm.
so let's keep going, bro. Let's keep going. Uh, we've got some biggest successful surprises.
Hmm.
Who are some? Give me a team that's a disappointment to you right now at this stage in the season.
Yeah.
I'll let you go first. You go first. Give me your team that's like disappointing to start the season.
When you asked me that question, the first team that comes to mind, because I was watching them a little bit before we started recording, New Orleans Pelicans. Like,
Really?
yeah, they're the I didn't expect them to, be 6-0, but I sure as heck didn't, expect them to be 0-6. So that's really surprising to me. It's very disappointing. I thought that we'd get a little bit more early on from Zion and Trey Murphy. So they've been disappointing. Not quite sure, what the remedy is, for them to turn it around right now. I know we talked a little bit about, maybe Willie Green isn't the right fit right now. Maybe, they've given him what, 3 years, 4 years now.
He's been there some time.
He's been there a little while, man, and it's kind of the same thing. Um,
I,
so I'm looking for them to turn it around and kind of find a little bit more of an identity. I think they're struggling with some cohesiveness. I don't know if they're all kind of on the same page out there. I will say their point guard is a bright spot. Jeremiah Fears, huge bright spot. And he's really the only guy I can say right now that's a bright spot for that squad. So they've been a huge disappointment, to me.
okay.
Um,
Let me
and
respond to that. I think I would challenge that take.
okay.
I would challenge that take as far as the Pelicans being a disappointment, only in that what was the expectations for them coming into the season, right? Um, we knew coming into the season that they wouldn't have DeJounte Murray, and he has some other off court stuff going on right now as well. DeJounte Murray coming in, right? He's coming off of an injury, so he won't be playing for a little while. Um, I say that to say when you look at their roster, their two stars at this current moment are Zion and Trey Murphy, right? And when I watch the Pelicans play, I'm 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 not as surprised that they're 0-6 because they need a lot from Zion and
Hmm.
a lot from Trey Murphy
Yeah,
and a lot from Jordan Poole
right.
for them to win games. But when you look at the rest of the roster, a lot of the rest of the roster is very young and they're also very undersized. So when you're playing against some of
Yeah.
these big teams in the Western Conference, and you if you don't have the otherworldly performance from Zion, and you're getting beat on the boards, and it's just a struggle to fight against the physicality of these big Western Conference teams, you're going to struggle. So that's the only reason why I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised.
Hmm.
I'm disappointed, but I'm not surprised that the Pelicans having some struggles. And when you factor in the fact that Zion is already kind of battling some injury stuff to start,
Yeah.
it could get ugly very, very quickly for the Pelicans.
I
And they
shouldn't
don't own their
really.
pick.
Yeah, I think the thing is with me, man, I placed some high hopes coming into the season. For Trey Murphy to, and it's still early. It's still early. This is only the second week, end of the second week of NBA hoops. I had a lot of hope that Trey Murphy was going to come into the first couple games scorching. He's put up some good games, but uh, Zion, man, I think I just hold too much hope for him constantly. And I think this is just who he is, man. So, yeah, you're right. I don't maybe think that anybody put a high expectation on him, so there's nothing to be let down about. Um, but I think it all comes down to me wanting them to be better than they are. So yeah,
I'm
brother.
with you. I'm with you, bro. Trey Murphy has to play better. 14 and a half
Yeah,
points a game, and
yeah,
he's starting to play a little bit better these last few
yeah.
games. But at 14 and a half a game is not what we were expecting from him. He has to pick it up. For
Who's your
me,
pick?
my pick, bro, for disappointing team, um, in my opinion, the New York Knicks, right? The
Mm,
New York Knicks are pretty disappointing. If we're looking at, I think as of this recording, they're 2-3.
Hmm.
And just with that record alone, you would expect like this should be a top team in the East,
Oh, for
right?
sure.
This should be a top team in the East. It's no excuse when you have major injuries to Boston, you have major injuries to Cleveland, major injuries to Indiana, who's struggling. Um, this should be a year where the Knicks hit the ground running, and they haven't yet. And I know a lot of people, fans of the Knicks, are pointing to the adjustment having to be made with a new coach, Mike Brown, right? Having fired Tom Thibodeau, who had some success with the Knicks these past few seasons, having to transition over to Mike Brown. Um, 2-3 is not cutting it. They're very
Mhm.
disappointing. But I want to really, really, really pivot from the Knicks and speak on the Indiana Pacers, who are currently as of this recording 1-5. They're probably my most disappointing team. And Hoop fans would say, well, they don't have Tyrese Halliburton. He's gone for the season. This is kind of expected. I just think when you make it to the finals, I don't care if you lose your best player.
Hmm.
There's a certain level of competitiveness that I just feel should continue on into the next season, even when you're missing your top guy. And let
Right.
me be clear, Tyrese is very important. He's a crucial part of the team. But to start off, uh, as poorly as the Indiana Pacers are starting off, I'm very shocked and surprised at that. Now, again, they lost Halliburton, they lost Miles Turner. I just think that I would have expected a little bit more fight from this team to try to show that, listen, last year wasn't a fluke. It was a team effort, which it was, and we
Hmm.
can kind of sustain, maybe not high tier, high level excellence, but even just middle level excellence in the Eastern Conference. And
Hmm.
as of right now, the Indiana Pacers are just not getting it done
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, it's so interesting, bro, because last year Tyrese had a terrible start to the season, and he didn't really right the ship until maybe like after the All-Star break. So they started off last year with a not a huge and efficient contribution from Halliburton, and they were just fine. They were, they might have been treading water a little bit, but they were able to actually come out with a winning record halfway through last season. So it is surprising that they're not starting off the season, very well at all. Um, and maybe it's foolish of us to think that an aging Pascal Siakam can carry them right now. I mean, he's putting up some crazy numbers. You think he's averaging like 25, 8 and 5 right now. Um, which are obviously nothing to
Sneeze at.
nothing to sneeze at. But I just think that they need some more contributions. I don't know who they're getting it from that roster.
Now
Um,
you're right. I'm with you. So yeah, bro, the Indiana Pacers, I've just been a little disappointed. I can't say it's a surprise, and that's where the wording gets a little funny. I'm just disappointed in any of the Pacers. They weren't champions, but they made it to the finals. They were the Eastern Conference champions, and I would have thought we would have saw a little bit more resolve, a little bit more of that type of attitude, despite losing both
mhm,
Tyrese Halliburton and Miles Turner. Uh, Great win against the Golden State Warriors recently. Huge win for them. So maybe they're on an upswing, and let's see what they do. But I'm disappointed in the Pacers, not so much surprised. I'm disappointed and surprised with the New York Knicks. Um, so, bro, let's move on. Let's move on. So, man, we this is kind of like the overreaction segment of the show. We are hoop fans, and it happens even after the first few weeks of the season. Talk to me, bro. If you had to pick an MVP right now, today, who would be your MVP, and then who would be your runner-up in third place at the current moment?
mhm.
If you can answer
Oh
that.
gosh, bro, this is so hard to really. I mean, I don't think it's that hard actually. My MVP is Wemby right now. If the
Okay.
league stopped right
Your
now,
MVP is
it
who?
would stop. Victor Wembanyama.
Okay.
Um, Runner up would be probably Luca.
Okay.
Um, Third would be Jokic. Uh, man,
It's early, bro. So this is for fun, man. Like I
yeah,
think
it's tough.
I'm not mad at your list because it's early, and what we're seeing now is a lot of players are playing very well to start the season. Um,
Mhm.
if it was me, I would have to say that number one would probably have to be Shea.
Really?
Yes, bro. They're undefeated.
Well, yeah, but I'm
Oklahoma City's
surprised.
undefeated. Oklahoma City's undefeated, and um they've been without their second star
Okay.
in Jalen Williams.
It's
So
not
I
Josh
think
Giddey.
see, bro, that's where you can see like the Chicago Bulls are just not like, but you're right. If you're going off of statistics and impact on his team and performance of the team, he would have to be in the MVP race. So that's why
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
exercise is kind of ludicrous. It's kind of ludicrous, but for me, shoot, it probably would have to be Shea, Josh Giddey, and Wimby, and I
That's
got to add
insane.
another one in Giannis because Giannis is balling.
Oh, that's
Giannis
a
is balling. So forget
he,
the MVP combo, bro. Forget the MVP combo. Let's just talk about how many players are playing well and the scoring binge that is happening in the NBA to start this season, bro. It is ridiculous. A lot of
doesn't
30
make
point
sense,
scorers, high
bro.
20s. Talk to me about the scoring binge happening.
It's insane because it's like, it's that argument again. Like, is the scoring so great nowadays, or is it just the lackadaisical, defense? So I think the scoring binge man is accredited just to, how many four-level scorers there are in the NBA at all different sizes too.
Four levels?
Yeah, man. I mean, I think that the fourth level is being able to just draw fouls. Like you
Okay.
have, so um there's like five, six guys right off the top that we can name. Giannis, Shea, Wemby, Austin Reeves, which is crazy. Luca. Um, who else is going off? Who had a 50? Lowry Markkinen, bro, is averaging 34 a game right now for the Utah Jazz. Like the finisher, bro, is he is insane. Aaron Gordon, bro, dropped 50. We talked about last week. Who else am I forgetting? Who dropped a 50 ball? Who else?
Well, Austin Reeves dropped 50. Aaron
Right.
Gordon dropped 50.
Yeah.
Shea dropped 50.
They
Laurie
dropped 50.
Markkinen dropped 50. It's been a bunch of 50 balls in the NBA,
Yeah.
and a lot of players are scoring the ball.
Yeah.
And a lot of them that we may not have foreseen, or it was a bit unexpected. So, for example, when you look at the list, right, I'm looking at the leading scores in the NBA currently as of this
Mhm.
recording. Tyrese Maxey, I think it's eligible games.
Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey.
Forgot
And I
about him.
believe it's eligible games because Luka's averaging 45 points a game, but he's
Right.
only played in 3 this season, but he's
Mhm.
averaging 45. Tyrese Maxey averaging 35 points a game. Giannis averaging 34. Laurie averaging 33. Shea
Crazy.
averaging 33. All in all, there's 8 players outside of Luka on this list that is averaging 30 and above, 30 plus. And we have a bunch that are averaging high 20s, right?
Yeah.
Small sample size, but guys is getting to it. And I want to speak on Laurie Marketing because when I was watching the highlights of the Jazz this week and some of the games, bro, he's
He's tough as hell,
tough.
bro. He's
Laurie
the
is
finisher.
tough.
Arguably
He's
got one of the
tough.
craziest nicknames too. The finisher.
The
Like
finisher, bro.
he's from Finland.
He's
Like,
finishing. He's finishing.
yeah,
He's
bro.
finishing, bro. Laurie's tough. When I'm
He
watching
is.
games, great shooter, right from 3 point range.
Yeah,
And he's more athletic than I
bro.
knew him to be. They're throwing him lobs. He's laying the ball up on the lobs if it's too difficult.
Right.
If not, he's slamming that John.
I didn't know he was 7'1". I thought he was 6'10", 6'11". No idea he's 7'1".
Bro, tall,
Right,
tall
bro.
and strong.
Very strong, bro.
Bro,
He's
just nice.
nice, bro. He's. I don't think anyone expects anything out of the Jazz, bro. But he's definitely gonna be an all-star. He's definitely gonna be, you know, on top tens, the highlights and all that. He's gonna put up, 30 balls. I don't know if he's gonna sustain 30 plus.
But high 20s. He's going
High
to be high
20s for
20s
sure. Yeah.
because his team needs him to score the ball. They're young. And like you
Yeah.
said, they may not have sustained success this season, but it makes sense why he's been in a lot of trade
Oh yeah.
rumors and different things of that sort for contenders because he can
Yeah.
literally change a franchise if you make him the second or third fiddle, right?
Yeah.
What's interesting when I was watching a lot of his highlights with the Jazz is I'm like, looking back, I wonder if Cleveland just sits, the organization, they just sit back and say, dang, if only we had paired him and Evan Mobley
Oof.
and got rid of Jared Allen.
Oh my
Like if we
God.
could have kept Evan Mobley and kept Laurie with him
Yeah.
versus shipping out Laurie and building around the front court of Evan and
That'd be a
Jared.
that'd be a nasty front court.
disgusting, right? And I
Missing,
think he would help the Cleveland Cavaliers so much right now.
yeah, mixing some offense with some defense. Like,
Absolutely, bro. So I think that's a good pick. But just continue to speak on the scoring bench. I love that you brought up four level scoring, right? The reason I questioned it was because I was like, I'm with you on one hand.
hmm
I don't believe that the league or even its stars today are as focused on simply free throws, layups, and threes as they had been, let's say, 4 or 5 seasons ago, right? We're starting to see a league where the stars are just they're just playing their game,
hmm
right? Obviously, you got to continue to stay high efficiency wise, right? You want to continue to be as efficient as you can, right? So
hmm
open three pointers and attempts at the rim are going to be the highest efficiency attempts in the league. But we're starting to see guys, the top stars, they're taking middies, right?
hmm
They're taking middies, and we're starting to see a diverse set of offensive skill sets across the league, and they're all getting it done.
hmm
So I think it's just been interesting, and I think I read a stat where it said the league had its best opening week in 15 years. I think that plays a part in it, right?
hmm
Every team is just exciting to watch right now.
No, I agree, bro. And I think, also to that point, you're finding not, I don't think the older guys are having like a resurgence in scoring, but they're not their game isn't tailing off. Like if you look at Jimmy Butler's, he's scoring 22, 23 a game now and when he was with Miami it was like 17, 18, 19. Kawhi's got his groove back. He's back to averaging 25, 26.
Yeah,
Um, Kevin Durant's not slowing down at all. Steph is still averaging 25, 26, 27. Who else am I forgetting right now? Some older guys. We spoke on Drew Holiday. Um, yeah, there's no shortage of offensive output right now, and it's really cool to see. Um, I think it's only helping the NBA's case right now in terms of just viewership. I think people are excited. I think there's definitely got, you know, it's got a feeling back. I don't know how to describe it other than that. It's got some excitement.
it's
Um,
excitement, bro. It's
yeah,
entertainment. It's
yeah,
entertainment, but it's competitive. The league
very
is so
competitive.
talented and competitive where you
Yeah,
have a team like the Chicago Bulls that can go 6-0. And as a casual fan, you may not think that they're the most talented. You could have a team like the Trailblazers go 4-2 to start the season, and they have a team where you may not think that they're the most talented. But the league is so stacked across the board. There's so much depth across the board, across these rosters and
right,
offensive talent and skill sets and gifts that
right.
it's just entertaining. And I will say this, the game is at this part, and I believe the NBA's presentation is catching up to it, right? When you
Mhm.
have the Amazon lineup with Blake Griffin, Dirk Nowitzki, UD, Taylor Rooks, and then you go to NBC and everyone that they have over there, like Tracy McGrady, Carmelo, Vince Carter, Jamal Crawford, broadcasting, commentating, analyzing the game in a educational but still
Yeah.
entertaining way. Everything is being packaged together. So it doesn't surprise me that the NBA had its greatest opening week in 15 seasons.
hmm
Think about it like this. In certain times of the NBA, bro, we know the history. If you were to lose a star like Jason Tatum, if you were to for the whole season, reportedly, lose a star like Tyrese Halliburton for the whole season, reportedly. You lose an older guy like Damian Lillard for the whole season, reportedly, right? If you as a league sustain these losses, you'll be like, man, this could be dangerous for the league because just entertainment value, right?
hmm
But the league is at a point now where it's like guys can go down with season long injuries, and we just have other stars to market and promote now.
Yeah. They're
Um,
so good at stepping up now, stepping up to the plate and carrying,
it's an
what was
abundance.
left. Yeah.
It's an abundance of talent. So it's great as a hoop fan, bro. So the scoring is ridiculous. Shout out to Tyrese Maxey leading the league for the 76ers. He's killing it. Baby Gilbert Arenas. Um, lastly, to close out on this topic, I didn't actually give my I wanted to show love, and actually, this is a great transition to our next topic. Luka Doncic, right, averaging 45 across 3 games,
hmm
ridiculous right now. He's hooping for the Lakers. And this is going to be a great transition to our topic of overreactions and just really, really, really bad takes, bro. Like very bad takes that I've heard and read this past week.
Okay.
I'm a Los Angeles Lakers fan. Okay. If you're following the Lakers, you know that LeBron James is currently not playing, dealing with sciatica in his glute region. Whatever that means, whatever. I'll leave it there. So he's out. He's out right now. Hasn't played a game in the season. Luca has missed a few games this season. He was out for about a week. In their absence, Austin Reeves has been hooping, averaging about 32 points a game, just hooping and seemingly taking a leap. I say this to say this. Luca averaging 45 in the games he's played, AR averaging upwards of 30. The takes have been taken. The takes have been taken.
hmm What's that mean? The takes have been taken for everybody out there
It's
listening.
been a lot of bad takes, bro. I've read that when LeBron James comes back, the Los Angeles Lakers should look to trade him.
I've heard very similar chatter.
I've read that for the Los Angeles Lakers to be the best Lakers that they can be, they work best when Luca and AR are the offensive focal point, and LeBron should now focus on being like a Draymond Green defensively. When I read these takes, bro, I was flabbergasted. I was befuddled. And the reason I was because did we forget that LeBron James was second team All NBA last season? Have they forgotten that, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, they have. They have. Obviously the reports of his injuries are not helping the cause that people are remembering that he's 40, turning 41 here in December. I think people are writing LeBron off as an old man now. And, just of course, naturally by his age, that might be the thing to do, right? But he's still LeBron freaking
He
James,
was second team All NBA last
right?
season.
You don't just write him off to say maybe you put him in a Draymond Green position. Like that is disrespectful. No disrespect to Draymond Green, but LeBron James is not that. To put him, in that position, I think would be doing the team a huge disservice. I think that, yeah, he's not going to be averaging 30 to 35 points a game, but, it's disrespectful. I'm going to say that to,
Bro, it's disrespectful and it's just asinine. When
yeah,
LeBron James comes back from injury, you know who he needs to play like?
LeBron
LeBron
James.
James.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
needs to play like LeBron James that we saw last season. We don't
Right.
need LeBron James to change anything up. We don't need him to focus on anything but being LeBron James. What he's been for the past 22 seasons, which has
Yeah.
been an all NBA player for basically all of them except for maybe one, his rookie season. He averaged 24, 7, and 8 last season. When LeBron comes back, things are going to change. So let's be clear. He's not going to stop Luca's shine, right? Because Luca is going to still do what Luca does. Luca's the number one option. Luca is the Don. So let's be very clear. Luca is the best player offensively. So that's not going to change. I love AR. I love Reeves. But in my opinion, even if he's improved, some of this we've seen before. We've maybe not to this level because there wasn't as many injuries. So there wasn't as many shot opportunities. He wasn't the number one option. He didn't have the green light with Luka Doncic and LeBron James sitting games. So his stats and his play is going to reflect that. He's hooping, let's be clear. But he's had more opportunity because guys are out. The big
Right.
dogs are out. But
Right.
when the big dog come back, we need him to be a big dog. And
Right.
AR's production may not be the same, but that's rightfully so,
And
bro.
that's fine. And that is fine.
That's fine.
Like Austin, no, nobody ever has this discussion when a good player goes off for a great team and their superstar guy comes back and they kind of go back to that position, them being a really good, solid player, who's going to give you a great all-around game on a nightly basis. And that's never been a problem on any of their team. I'm not going to give any examples. I'm just talking until now. Like it hasn't been like, and they're not maybe not making it a problem, but I'm just saying like they could make this an issue if the media chose to push this and tried to maybe do what the media always does and try to divide a team possibly. Um, yeah, I mean maybe LeBron, doesn't operate so much on the outside perimeter. Maybe you see him in the mid post more operating out of there. Like he might have to change the game up a little bit, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be LeBron James.
Bro,
Like he might not be
I
thinking,
don't mind him changing his game, but to suggest that he won't be the second option unless
yeah.
his game dives off a cliff when he comes back, and that's a possibility because he's dealing with
Mhm.
injuries and he will be 41 as you stated. But unless his
Mhm.
game dies off a cliff, bro, he's LeBron James. He will be the second option. He's going to get the second most touches outside of Luca.
Right. Or like a
The AR
1B.
scoring is going to go down.
Yeah, or like a 1B. Luca's 1A, LeBron's 1B. However
I
you
think
want
it's
to
going
look
to
at
be, in my opinion, I think Luca's Luca. He's averaging 45 because Luca's the Don. I think he's going to be
it.
1A.
Luca's one.
I think he's one. I'm not gonna go that far. Let's be clear. I think Luka's the Don, but I think when it becomes LeBron James versus AR versus Austin Reeves, let's be honest, bro. LeBron is the second option
Yeah.
until we know for sure he can't.
They
Um,
they have been a little disrespectful. Kenny Smith called you hear that?
what?
He called Austin Reeves insanity, which I was like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Like Austin Reeves is not this overnight sensation that just was signed.
He's not.
Kind of, you know what I mean?
He's not. He's not. He's not that. He's not
Yeah.
that.
So I was like, easy there, Kenny. Like, let's not forget Austin Reeves is a very good NBA basketball player.
He is. It's just not that. It's just not comparable. He's
Yeah.
having an amazing stretch of the season though. Like we got him. He's
Yeah.
having game winners, 50 balls. So shout out to Austin Reeves. I love Austin Reeves, and I love that he's hooping. I just think that I think we may be early. Some fans are early in jumping the gun with him to suggest that LeBron take a back seat because now we have to say, okay, if you think the Lakers can compete, it's like, okay, Austin Reeves kind of has to be like Kyrie Irving in the sense, like if this Lakers team is going to be super nice and compete for a championship this season with this current roster, and you're suggesting that LeBron James can now take a further back seat and be the third option. So are you saying that the production of Austin Reeves can match that of Kyrie? He has, to this point, he has, but I just don't believe it's going to continue to
Yeah.
this extent.
Yeah.
Um, I also would like to say this take, and you can give me one if you have one. Do you have an overreaction, bro? Anything you got come to mind?
Um,
Or
Overreaction.
bad take, bad take?
I did hear something earlier. I did hear
Talk to
something
me.
that Paolo Banchero might end up being the Trevor Lawrence of the NBA.
What does that mean?
The
Oh, Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor
Okay.
Lawrence, yeah, and I can see it. Like I do, but I just feel like it's you gotta let Paolo at least finish out the year before you start doing that because
I'm not familiar with football. Explain that to me, bro.
Trevor Lawrence, was highly touted coming into the NFL, for Jacksonville. I mean, as a generational quarterback, big dude, 6'6", kind of revolutionizing that, gunslinger position. Now he hasn't quite lived up to that. He's been on a very underachieving squad. Statistics have showed that he's kind of underachieving as well. Don't have any statistics to bring, to the table right now other than the eye test from what I've seen. Um, and I think that they're kind of bringing that over to Paolo, kind of
Just
transferring
not
that
just.
same, huh?
Oh no, yeah, just did that same analogy. He's the Trevor Lawrence of the NBA.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So I do think that's an overreaction. I think you got to at least let him go till like All-Star break to see where he's at then, and then we can maybe revisit that. But I think it's an overreaction right now. I just think it's early slump for them. Um, I mean, and then kind of open up the discussion. I think it's kind of an overreaction right now to think that Orlando won't pick it up at some point this season, and that they're just like this shitstorm of a squad.
Yeah, I don't
So
think they're there yet. I
yeah,
think they're disappointing though in some instances. I went to the Philadelphia 76ers Orlando Magic game,
okay,
and my personal observations watching the team play, I didn't like them offensively all the time. I just felt like it was very choppy. Uh the
okay,
offense wasn't fluid. It was a lot of you go, my go, and I feel like they struggle with that, right? Paolo is my turn, then it's Franz, my turn. Now they're incorporating Desmond Bain, and he's trying to find his way on a new squad. So their offense is very clunky to me, and it just didn't seem as cohesive as you would have thought it would be adding a shooter to the mix, to that roster. So, but I'm with you. I think they'll pick it up, even
Yeah.
with their disappointing start. I would say, to
What's
close
yours?
this topic up,
Yeah.
a terrible take, and this was early. I think we can just say rest in peace to all the Dallas Mavericks finals takes that was happening. I
Oh,
I
yeah.
believe Stephen A. Smith, and I
Yeah.
also saw Steven Jackson. It was like this hot take, and I don't know why. I think Cooper Flag was, it was so much hype and excitement, and it was like, oh, the Dallas Mavericks, when Kyrie gets back, they're going to the finals.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not to suggest that there weren't some things that you could look at and maybe
Be
make the
excited
case,
about. Yeah.
but you can just say rest in peace to that take. It was a bad take. You were basically resting your laurels on Anthony Davis being healthy this season. You're resting your laurels on Kyrie Irving coming back and being Kyrie Irving after an ACL injury. And you're resting your laurels on the fact that Cooper Flag is just going to be amazing, amazing as a rookie. And all of those things have just,
Over three.
you're 0 for 3. I mean, the jury's out on Kyrie. Cooper
Yeah.
Flag is struggling as he would as an 18-year-old rookie. And Anthony Davis is injured as Anthony Davis just has been historically.
Hmm.
So rest in peace to that take, man.
Yeah.
So bro, some couple quick hitters before we close out the episode. Did you see MPJ's comments? He had a post game conference. I don't
Hmm.
know if how much net stuff you're seeing, but they lost the game. I forgot who it was to. And basically the reporters kind of asked what was a little bit of the issues that the Nets were experiencing as a team, right? And paraphrasing, he didn't do it in a negative way, but he more or less threw the rookie point guards under the bus. He basically kind of was stating that, we have some rookie point guards who are doing their best, but at the end of the day, they're rookies, so they may not just be ready to contribute to winning basketball. And he clarified and said, as a rookie, I don't even think I was ready to contribute to winning basketball. I bring this up because I thought it was interesting in that the cliche athlete answer when you get asked a question like that, you kind of you stay generic. A lot of times you kind of put it on yourself as a leader. Like, I've got to be better. I've got to lead my team to victory. I've got to do more. Very rare do you see an honest answer in the sense of, hey, we got some point guards that just aren't ready. Paraphrasing.
Hmm.
What is your thoughts on that? And do you think that that's a route that he should have went?
I don't think there's any repercussions for him. So yeah, I think he probably should have said it. I don't think there's any, you know what I mean? It's Michael Porter Jr. Like he's I didn't realize he was this outspoken either. Like I didn't think he was this maybe bold in what he's willing to say and then kind of how he's willing to portray himself to others. So like I mean, maybe for certain people they should bite their tongue on certain things like that, but I don't think his case, it's really like, oh, this is going to come back to bite him in the ass or anything like that. So I don't have a problem with it. I mean, I don't know if the rookies are going to be like, oh, his word holds so much weight. Like we got to listen to him. But I think in this situation, he's a little right. Like, you know,
I think I think I think he's honest. I think he's
yeah,
right. I agree. He's right as well. And I love your point, bro. What are the repercussions?
yeah,
It's the Brooklyn Nets. They're not
yeah,
looking to win anything this season.
yeah.
They're going to struggle this entire season. And he was honest. And it wasn't. He didn't necessarily criticize his teammates. It wasn't a criticism. It was just a very honest take. I just
Hmm.
think that you got, in my opinion, you got to be careful with being so honest, right? If you're dealing with rookie point guards and now they have in the back of their mind that when they don't play well or when we lose games, our leader of the team may indirectly call us out in the media, that just adds pressure to your already pressurized rookie point guards who are trying their best. Despite the
Well,
way you did it and how you delivered it, I just think the best way to go about that type of question and that answer is just to take the onus on yourself and say, we've just got to be better as a team overall. Um, so I love your point though that there's no repercussions. Michael Porter Jr. been running his mouth all off season and season. We've just heard a lot from him. We've heard a lot from him, and I like him as a player. Um, so yeah, bro, I think actually the last thing we can finish out on is our "You Remind Me" segment. If you know Usher,
I
you
like
remind
that.
me, you remind me. Um, bro, I don't know. This is just very random. I was watching the Detroit Pistons.
Hmm.
I believe Ron Holland. He got a steal. He dribbled coast to coast quick as I don't know ever.
Hmm
6'8", super athletic forward. Can't really shoot, but is just an athlete in the open floor.
hmm
Got the steal, flushed that John. And it just crossed my mind. I said, that boy remind me of Corey Brewer.
It's random, but
It's random, but that's my you remind me player, bro.
yeah.
I said he's this generation's Corey Brewer, bro. Where
Okay. Are we doing specifically just first, like early players? Because Ron Holland's what, second year?
anybody,
Second, third
bro,
year?
just anything you reminded of, bro. When I seen Ron Holland, I said, yo, he reminds me of Corey Brewer. Like,
Okay. I will say this, and I might like, I don't know if people are going to see this at all, but I watched Con Knipple for the Charlotte Hornets, and some of his movement reminds me of a very slow and less dynamic Devin Booker. It's you gotta kind of look at the way he kind of gathers himself off catch and shoots. He doesn't jump like Devin Booker. He doesn't move as quick as Devin Booker. It's kind of like a slow motion Devin Booker. That's the best way I could describe it.
really?
His footwork is it's there for sure.
Can he handle?
Um, Not re no, 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 no. He can't really handle. It's just kind of off his catch and shoot, his mechanics. His 1-2, his footwork into it, and just like the body, I feel like mimics what I've seen. But like I said, athletically and dynamic, dynamicness, I'm not sure if that's a word, but like on the court, it's, not the same at all. Who else? I liked
Nah, go ahead, go ahead,
Dylan
go ahead.
Harper. You said Dylan Harper. Who's he
Okay, yeah.
reminded you of?
We talked about this last episode. We spoke. I said James Harden.
You're right. So it's sometimes with these rookies, man, I'm seeing it for sure. Scotty Barnes, sometimes not a rookie, of course, but looks like a 6'7" Giannis. Who else? I could go off on a tangent with
I'm about to
like,
say, yeah, this could be, bro. This is a segment where we have one.
yeah,
We just each just anything
quick
we see.
hitters.
Yeah, quick John.
Yeah,
We let's because there's a bunch of them, and this is a league of comparisons. Um, I just thought that was just funny. I was like, wow, why did I just think of Corey Brewer when I just saw
yeah.
Ron Holland get this steal and this dunk? I'm just like, and
I gotta
obviously
see. Yeah.
the hoop fans they know that 50-point game that Corey Brewer hit that had all fast
Mhm.
breaks and open floors. You know what I'm saying? So that was just
Yeah, that's a
random.
good
That
point.
was random.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I think this has been a good episode. I do want to say this to your Con Knipple point. I was
hmm
watching Devin Booker, and when you as a hoop fan, when we hooped and we watched the game, you can see different body types, right? And I was
hmm
just looking at Devin Booker, and I'm like, he's one of those hoopers that like he's not fat, he's not fat,
No.
but he's not slim either. Like he's like a weird like how Paul Pierce isn't. He wasn't fat,
Right.
but he wasn't slim either.
Well, he has no definition.
He,
Like he's
that's what it is.
he's like if you were to draw like an NBA player, like just he's just like
It's
this.
no details
Like
in
there's
the.
no
It's no
yeah,
details.
there's no and he's always been like that. Like hey, he actually was a little chubby when he came in.
That's what I'm saying. He's
Like
one of those hoopers that was
yeah,
like he's not fat,
no.
but he's not
Yeah,
slim.
but that's how Nipple is.
That
Like
and when you said that, I was like,
yeah,
yo, Con Knipple is like that, bro.
yeah. Like just very I don't know, dude. Like
That was crazy.
they've got no definition, bro. It's just like arm. Just like
It's just yeah, pause. It's just mass, but it's like you're still an athlete. You're still a high level athlete, but it's like I put Devin Booker in that Paul Pierce of hoopers. We've all had teammates. I've had teammates who
is it
were
more
like that.
impressive when you're built like that to be able to produce like that? Because like
Yes, it's
I
it's
think they're bro, like Paul Pierce and Nipple, they move like peanut butter. Like
yeah, bro. And it's like they'll mess around and bang on you. You'd be like, how did you just dunk on
right.
me? I did not think you were athletic. Those are the people that catch you slipping. Paul Pierce catch you slipping. Devin Booker catch
Yeah.
you slipping because you don't think they're going to go by you and dunk the ball, but they're still athletic. They just look chubby.
There's a lot of guys like that, bro.
There's a
Like
few.
there's a few, and we could list off probably 10, 15 if we really thought about it. But
It's a
um
few. It's a few. Paul Pierce is the main one where I just looked at him and I was like, he's just an awkward looking hooper, bro. Like he's
Melo was
six
kind of
eight.
like that.
Mello was in that class with Paul
Yeah.
Pierce, where like they ain't fat necessarily, but they for sure ain't slim. They just
Yeah.
no definition. We
Is
can leave
James
on
Harden
that
like that
note.
now?
You said who?
Is Harden like that now?
Well, Harden's in that class too.
Of course,
But
like this
Harden,
guy.
I think kind of he you would kind of say he might have been fat in some parts of his like he's like a Zion. Like you would say
Yeah.
Zion was kind of fat sometimes. Like you wouldn't. It's a little different. But yeah, bro, I think that was a good episode. Anything else you want to bring to the fans before we out?
Man, I hope we get a good third week of ball so we can come to you guys with some more great factual takes as always, but it's been a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Follow and subscribe, man. We getting our subscribers up. Hoop fans, we out. I'm K Rose.
Yep, it's your boy Matt.
We out.